one by one. The first step here I have written that count the number of atoms on each side of the equation. How many sides an equation got? It got two sides, the left hand side and the right hand side. So the first step we have to follow is that we have to just note down the number of atoms present on each side of the equation. So let us first write the atoms. Here I have written one example of sulfur and oxygen. Okay, so let us write. Okay, so let us write the number of atoms on both the sides. Okay, so here which are the elements we can get? Sulfur and oxygen, and this side also sulfur and oxygen. Got it? So we have to see both the side, both the left hand side and the right hand side, that what are the elements. So at first we will write the elements involved. Okay, sulfur and oxygen both are the element this side. Here also sulfur and oxygen. Always in the chemical equation the element involved in both the sides are equal. Okay, sometimes a new product is formed, but the elements are generally similar only. Okay, now what is the number of sulfur here? 8. What is the number of sulfur this side? 1. Only one sulfur. What is the number of oxygen this side? 2. And this side 2. Got it? Only we have to note it down. What are the number of atoms present in both the side of the equation? In both the side of equation, first you note down the name of the element or symbol of that element, and then you just write the number of atom it has. S8 means 8 number of sulfur atom combined to form a molecule. S8. Okay. Oxygen 2. This side the number of sulfur is 1 and the number of oxygen is 2. Here clearly we can see that this is an unbalanced equation, or this is a skeletal equation. So we need to balance it. Okay, don't worry, we will do step by step. Okay, now come to second step. Only change the coefficient, not the subscript. Already little bit about that I told you in our last topic. So if I will write here 2H2 means here this 2 is the subscript written below and this 2 is the coefficient. This is the coefficient and this is the subscript. Got it? Got? So always when you are balancing a chemical equation, always change the coefficient, not the subscript. Got it? So this one just keep it in mind that do not change the subscript. You cannot change the subscript in a chemical equation. Only when you are balancing the chemical equation, do not change the subscript. Only you can change the coefficient which is written on the front side. Don't change the number which is written below the element. Got it? So here the same example I have written. Let us see how we can change the coefficient. Again the same we will repeat. Number of sulfur 8, number of oxygen 2, number of sulfur 1, number of oxygen 2. Okay, now sulfur is not balanced but oxygen is balanced. The number of oxygen on both the side is similar. What about sulfur? Here this side sulfur got 8 atoms, but this side only 1 atom of sulfur. So what we can write? As I said, we can add a coefficient. We cannot write S8 here. We cannot write S8 here because we cannot change or add the subscript. Only we will write the coefficient. We can only write the coefficient here. we cannot change the subscript, okay, or we cannot add a subscript. So we cannot write as 8. So here we can write 8. We can add here 8. So here as 8. Okay, now it is balanced. Sulfur 8 on this side and sulfur 8 on this side. But what about this oxygen? When I will add 8 here, means also this oxygen will be multiplied with 8. Already we have discussed. So how many number of oxygen now? 16 in this side. So again we have to balance this side oxygen 2, but this side the number of oxygen is 16. So what we can do here? Again, as I said, we can only add the coefficient. We cannot change the subscript. Here we cannot change the subscript. Only we have to add the coefficient. So what coefficient we will add here, which will be multiplied with 2 and that will be 16. Obviously 8. Okay. Got it? Now is it balanced? Yes. Sulfur 8 on both sides and oxygen 16 on the both sides. Got it? Again I am repeating, just listen to it carefully. Step number 1, note down the number of atoms involved in a chemical equation. Both the side, okay? Both the side you can just note it down. Step number 2, after noting down the atom, we can see that the equation is not balanced. If it is balanced, then leave it. Need not to go for second step. If it is not balanced, we can see clearly that it is balanced or not. If it is not balanced, then for balancing both the side, we have to change the coefficient. We cannot change the subscript of an atom. We can only change the, or we can, we cannot change the subscript of an element. Okay, we can only change the coefficient here. Got it? So this is the second step. Now come, okay. So what is the third step? If polyatomic ion is present, count it as a one item. In some equation we can also get a polyatomic ion. Already we have discussed in our chapter what is polyatomic ion. I am not repeating that one again. Okay. So if in an equation if we will get a polyatomic ion, then we have to take that polyatomic ion as a single item. Okay, let us discuss what is this. Here I have written one equation. CaSO4 calcium sulfate, when it combines with sodium nitrate, it forms calcium nitrate and sodium sulfate. So here we got two polyatomic ions on both the sides. Which one you can say? Which one is the polyatomic ion? Okay. SO4, this is the polyatomic ion, and O3, this is also a polyatomic ion. Okay. Here also, and SO4. Okay. SO4. So here these are the polyatomic ions. So here you can see SO4 means we cannot take S and oxygen, sulfur and oxygen, we cannot take it. NO. Okay, this one is NO. So sulfur and oxygen we cannot take it separately because this is a polyatomic ion. So combinedly we have to take this. That is, if polyatomic ion is present, count it as one item. So here, while counting the atoms, we will write like this. So first one we will write. Which one is the element? Calcium. This side also calcium is present. Okay. Then sodium. Sodium also present this side. Okay. Then we will write the polyatomic ions. SO4. Okay. Here the chemical equation. So note it down very carefully. Whenever you are writing the polyatomic ion, then write that polyatomic ion as a single item. Okay. Now let us balance it. Calcium 1, this side also 1. Sodium 1, this side sodium 2. SO4 1. Okay. This side SO4 1. NO3 this side 1 and this side NO3 2. NO3 whole 2. Okay, that means 2. Now let us check which of the atom elements they are in balanced form, which are not in balanced form. Calcium, both the side it is balanced. Sodium, this side 1 but this side 2. That's why we have to balance it. Again I am repeating, we cannot add the subscript, rather we can add the coefficient. So this side we can add 2. Okay. Sodium, before and A we can add 2. But if we will add 2 here, then these 2 will also combine with NO3. So here we got how many number of NO3? 1. So it will be multiplied with 2. Got it? Whenever we will add a coefficient here 2, means it is also applicable for the polyatomic ion also. So 2 number of NO3. Now what about sulfur? Sulfur is already balanced. Okay. Now NO3, now it is balanced because this side it got 2 and earlier it was 1. But now after adding 2 here, this is balanced. So I think this is already balanced. Now this is the balanced chemical equation. Calcium 1 1 both the side. Sodium, okay, sodium 2 both the side. Sulfur 1 1 on both the side. NO3 2 2 both the side. Got it? Now this is the balanced equation. Again let me repeat. First note it down the atoms. Second, you have to add where if it is unbalanced. After writing the atom, if you can observe that it is unbalanced equation, then you can add the coefficient, but do not change the subscript. Okay. Next, if you got any polyatomic ion in a chemical equation, then take that polyatomic ion as a single item. Don't just split or break the polyatomic ion. Here I gave one example. SO4 means do not break sulfur and oxygen. Combinedly, it is a polyatomic ion. Combinedly you have to write. Okay? And you will balance. Now come to the last step. Count all the atoms. After balancing, obviously, you have to count all the atoms in both the sides, both the left hand side and right hand side. If it is balanced, then you got a balanced chemical equation. Okay. Now let's see here the same steps we will repeat here. Okay. So here I have written one example. So here let us write the elements one by one. You also do by your own. Okay. These are the elements involved in both the sides, calcium, hydrogen and oxygen. Calcium, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. Now let us write the number of, calcium I am saying, carbon. Okay. C, carbon. Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. Now let us count the number. Carbon 1. This side also 1. Hydrogen 4. This side how many hydrogen? 2. Okay. Oxygen 2 and oxygen 2 here plus 1 here 3. Got it? 2 here plus 1 here. Okay. This many we got. Now let us check whether it is balanced or not. First see carbon. Carbon is already balanced. This side also 1 carbon, this side also 1 carbon. Okay. Hydrogen, this side how many hydrogen we got? 4. But this side how many we got? 2. Then what we will do? Tell me. We can add a coefficient. Okay, what we will add here? 2. So that it will be 4. Okay. Now oxygen, this side 2 and this side now how many oxygen? Let's check. This one 2, 1, not 1, again here we have added 2, means we can write here how many oxygen? 2. Got it? 2 oxygen here, or else I can write earlier 1 oxygen was there, again 1 oxygen added, or simply we can just erase that and after adding these 2 we can rewrite the number of oxygen. Here the number of oxygen is 2 and this side the number of oxygen now after adding 2 here it is 2. Then how many number of oxygen now? 4. Now it is unbalanced, this side 2 but this side 4. So again what we can do? We can add 2 here. Okay. 4. Got it? Now balanced. Now let us count the atoms, number of atoms. 4 plus 4 plus 1. This side 4 plus 4 plus 1. Same. Okay. Just at last count the number of atom. If you will get similar number, if the number is equal, then you can say that this is a balanced chemical equation. Got it? So these are some of the easy steps you can follow as you are the beginners. You are doing the you are doing the balancing of chemical equation for the first time. When you will solve the equation in the rough, you can also follow the steps. Okay? Or by the side, when you are writing the answer, by the side you just give a margin and you can follow the step if you are getting the confusion. But remember, the more you will practice the chemical equation, the more it will be easier and the more faster you can do. Okay? You need not to write these all also. If you will write or if you are practicing chemical equation, try to practice more and more chemical equations. Okay? So here these are the common steps or the basic steps which you have to follow during balancing a chemical equation. Do not just forget about the point here. You can only change the coefficient. This is a very important point. Most of the students, they are doing wrong here only. They will change the subscript. Okay, I mean most of them they are changing the subscript, but do not change the subscript. You have to change the coefficient. You cannot add a new subscript also. You can add a coefficient, but you cannot add a subscript. Okay. Then this one also a very important point. If polyatomic ions are present, take it as a whole. Take it as a one item. Do not just split it. Got it? So these are some of the basic steps to derive or to balance, not to derive, to balance a chemical equation. Already in our earlier classes, we have discussed about the basic of an equation. Means which side of the equation, what we can say, how we can write a chemical equation, that all already we have discussed. Today only I am talking about the balancing. Okay, so this is the way you can balance the chemical equation. Number of chemical equation you got. I had also given you, I think some 24 to 25 chemical equations. That one you just try to solve by your own. Okay. Sometimes when you will do in a in exam also, when you will write in hurry, then sometimes you may do minor mistakes. Okay, but do not forget to recheck it. Okay, sometimes not even you. When I also used to do or used to balance the chemical equation, and if you are not so much attentive to do, then small mistakes you can do. But don't worry, just check it again. Okay, just recheck it and again try to do it, and slowly you will be perfect in balancing of chemical equation, but you have to practice more. Okay, so this is our today's topic, and do not forget to practice the equations. Okay, repeatedly I am saying, and number